and putting one in the kitchen.
Like on Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So this is a rerun.
Exactly.
What's a rerun?
And putting TVs in, near the living room, or that's when you got bigger TVs to that you can view. The remote. That's when we got the remote.
Right. The clicker.
So, again, that's why it's interesting that a lot of those people was for that Center for Humane Technology. So don't be surprised if you see some new app or some new gadget from the Center of Humane Technology. So it just felt like it didn't feel genuine. You telling me this information didn't feel like it was something investigative. You know what I mean? It came from the insiders. Like if it was like some Tim Pool or some Crowder investigation where they had all these tech giants or former techies talking this or whatever, I probably it would have affected me a different way. But other than that, I was like, bullshit.
I don't know. I feel like the majority of the world is stupid. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way. I mean their intelligence
ignorant.
No, I wouldn't say ignorant. I mean just dumb. And this isn't, like I said, it's not making fun of them. I'm just saying.
Right.
And companies like the ones they're talking about have figured out how to appeal to those people. Not people like us.
Right.
We can see through it.
Easy.
And so it's like pop music or anything else. They're trying to get that money.
Yeah.
And so when you can appeal to somebody that's not thinking above a level of like, oh, I just need to eat today. I need to get drunk today. I need to do whatever I can just to get by and satisfy myself. And they're not looking beyond that. They're not trying to enhance their mind or anything like that. And I don't know. They made some good points in the one I said already, and the one they were saying about they figured out how to manipulate somebody to the point when they can control what they do.
Yeah, see, I don't buy that.
For you. But what about for somebody that is of lesser mind?
Where I'm at with that is, regardless of the medium or the vehicle, they're gonna find that. They're gonna make however dumb they are. These people still make a conscious choice to find whatever it is that interests them.
Right.
Or we can look at it as gonna find them somehow, somewhere. But I don't feel like they just control it. I'd rather use the term influence more than control.
Yeah, but what about the point they brought up about Myanmar? How you can't have a phone without them installing Facebook for you and having an account made for you that the government directly is in control of, and how they kicked out 700,000 Muslims because of the social media there, rallying against them because of that exact thing.
But a claim like that would have to be investigated.
Right.
But that's just this. What do I want to say?
I think that's an example of what it can do, not what it will do.
It's possible, but I don't buy into the social media being that big of a factor in that whole Muslim thing. Because
well, never one of us have looked into it.
Yeah,
that's just a thing I saw in one fucking movie.
Right, that's why I don't buy into it like that. Because it came from one biased picture.
But
I mean, but like I said, I'm more than aware that the power of media,
right,
and propaganda, that's essentially the cornerstone to advertising, to movie trailers. You know what I'm saying? Propaganda is, the main definition is, images and things for political reasons, but that formula is still used in terms of advertising, especially motion media. It has been since the beginning of time. That's why commercials are 30 seconds. if it's a long commercial, it's a lot of, you rarely see long form commercials that don't have multiple locations, multiple products, possibly one person in it, like a small, simple family. And that's essentially what social media does, is uses propagandist techniques in advertising and driving their revenue. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Informative Reaction Podcast. 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 Informative Reaction